A few months ago, a very trivial event happened to me that triggered a powerful emotional reaction. In the heat of the moment, I panicked and had an idea. I asked ChatGPT if it could give me a rational explanation of what was happening inside me. Its response left me speechless. It seemed to understand exactly what I was going through and which raw nerve that episode had touched. I was presented with a clear, linear, and logical explanation of something that felt completely obscure to me. So, is artificial intelligence a valid tool for our personal growth? Let's talk about it. I'm Nissa, and here I discuss personal development and how to live more mindfully and authentically. If these topics resonate with you, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any videos. Have you ever talked to AI about your doubts or asked for advice on your decisions? If you have, you're not alone. After all, it offers interesting insights. It's available 24/7, it's free or very low cost, and it makes you feel free to say whatever you want in a way you might not with anyone else. It seems like the ideal solution to get what you want as quickly and easily as possible. The analysis it did on my situation seemed perfect, except for one small detail. AI doesn't know when to stop. In fact, it's designed not to. It's built to keep the conversation going indefinitely. But the problem with talking too much is that you end up talking nonsense, a truth that applies even to machines. Just like in human conversations, when you keep talking even when there's nothing left to say, you end up rambling and inevitably lose credibility. The more you let AI talk freely about delicate, personal, and nuanced topics where there aren't always clear scientific answers, the more you'll notice the cliches and approximations it makes. If you don't constantly keep a firm grip on the conversation, you end up even more confused by the sheer volume of words and the mediocrity of what it's telling you. This brings up another issue. AI is programmed to be agreeable. In practice, this means it focuses on validating you and telling you you're right. But if you want to grow, the last thing you need is someone who always agrees with you, especially when you're actually wrong. A couple of weeks ago, I saw an Instagram post about the future of social media. It was written by an industry expert, but it felt extremely biased and intentionally exaggerated to me. I decided to ask both Claude and ChatGPT for their opinions on it. I must have messed up the copy-paste because when I hit enter on Claude, I accidentally sent only the text of the post without any instructions. Something very interesting happened. Claude read the words and simply agreed with me, saying, "This material is powerful. The piece works very well." But when I clarified that it was just a post I'd read and asked for an analysis based on specific criteria without revealing my own opinion, the response changed completely. At that point, Claude took the post apart and demolished it line by line. This is dangerous because it erases doubt instead of stimulating it. It acts as an echo chamber for your ideas, removing friction and making everything feel comfortable and reassuring. You risk thinking you're always right, but reality doesn't work that way, and neither do human relationships. The point is, if you're looking for a confrontation with a machine, are you really trying to grow, or are you just looking for confirmation? Are you choosing the easy way out? The real question is why we seek tools for human growth where there is no human interaction or genuine debate. On an informational level, a person might not tell you more than an AI can, but on an emotional level, in terms of experience, exchange, and inspiration, everything that creates an emotion inside you leaves a mark on your memory. Those marks become the lessons you actually keep within you, not as simple facts, but as lived experiences that you truly make your own because you can link them to what triggered them. What do you have left after an exchange with a machine? At best, a piece of information you record but don't truly internalize. At worst, absolutely nothing. Earlier, I mentioned that these chats give you a freedom you might not have with anyone else. Perhaps that's because you know there are no consequences. If you tell a lie, if you lie to yourself, or if you start going off the rails, who is there to hold up a mirror to reality? With AI, you can lie without repercussions. There's no commitment, no accountability. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want. How can you grow using a tool that operates under these conditions? If you get used to the oversimplification of AI interactions, you become less capable of handling the complexity of real life and relationships. You risk getting used to being catered to, having a ready-made solution at your fingertips, and avoiding real commitment. Then there's feedback, a fundamental part of growth. Feedback only comes when you engage with someone else in the real world, not when you talk to a machine that follows your commands. The paradox is that if you don't want the AI to just agree with you, you have to instruct it not to. So, in the end, who is really deciding what comes back to you? It's still just you. You're essentially talking to yourself. And here's another unsettling part. The more you talk to an AI, the more you train it to mimic your language, your tone, and your ways. You risk creating a virtual version of yourself that does nothing but validate you because it thinks just like you. Even with the most like-minded friend or professional, you are still dealing with something outside of yourself. Recently, I read some shocking news. Some people are training AI using real chats and voice notes from deceased loved ones to recreate conversations with them. It's an attempt to dull the pain of loss. While I don't want to judge how anyone processes grief, does this use of technology help us, or does it insulate us from reality? This urge to flee into a muffled, protected world reminds me of the dynamics of social media. Through social media, we've created a dangerous simplification of reality. Communication has been reduced to short, fast phrases. There's no room for context. Everything must be instant and attractive. Human relationships are reduced to likes, follows, and emojis. The similarity between social media and AI is how we dive headfirst into them because the promises are so alluring. Social media promised connection and sharing. AI promises instant help and growth. But we know there's a dark side. Socializing online often leads to digital isolation. Connecting becomes about counting followers. This shows that we can't just look at what new opportunities can do for us. We must evaluate what they do to us. AI, like social media, can do a lot for us, but only if we know how to use it without becoming victims of it. I want to leave you with a question. We live in an era that offers the most tools for personal growth in history. Apps, podcasts, courses, and AI, often for free. So why do we feel more stuck, more miserable, and more lost than ever? Perhaps it's because these tools don't solve the problem. They often complicate it. We are deluding ourselves into thinking that technology can replace essential elements like difficulty, effort, struggle, and pain. We think we're working on ourselves just because we're asking for help and receiving an automated answer. When I turned to ChatGPT, I was looking for a quick and easy fix. I looked outside for an answer to something happening inside because I was scared and felt out of control. I doubted years of self-work for a moment. But if I had taken the time to sit down and think with a cool head, I would have understood what happened on my own, which is exactly what I did later. My real answers had nothing to do with the ones the AI gave me with such confidence. AI can give you tools, but it doesn't spare you from the actual work. Thinking for yourself, finding your own answers, and going out there to live and face people. AI can provide the input, but only real life can provide the output. We are building lives full of input, but devoid of output. We're living in a personal metaverse rather than in reality. The question isn't whether AI is a useful tool. The question is, are we willing to use it for input, but then actually go outside and create our own output? What do you think? I'm very curious to hear your honest opinion on how you use AI and if you've ever used it for personal situations. If you found this video interesting, please leave a like, subscribe. Thank you for being here with me, and I'll see you in the next one.